What up, my friends? It's January 17th. It is 2013. I hope everybody has had a wonderful day. It's late here in Tennessee. Just wanted to make a video talking about some things that's been going on, some things obviously that are going viral all over the internet, involving a lot of different topics. So I'm wanting to discuss some of them in this video. Everybody who watches this channel, who subscribes, writes me messages, you know that what the subject's about. It's about always relating it to the name of what this channel is, and that's Free and MJ. Whether that can be taken in a lot of different contexts. But on this video, I'm wanting to discuss something that's been going around the internet involving the Sandy Hook shootings in Newtown, Connecticut. There's a lot of controversy going on, a lot of division going on from what I can tell. A lot of people arguing, a lot of people saying this happened, saying that happened. So I just wanted to sort of give my opinion on it. Not that it's true or anything, I'm just going to give what my opinion is. If 27 people were killed, 27 children were killed on December 14th, 2012, it is an act of evil. It is a work of the devil, and plain and simple, that's what it is. If this school shooting is a hoax, like a lot of people are suggesting and looking at, it is an act of evil. It's an act of the devil. It's actually, whatever side of the coin people are on, you're arguing over what's eviler, more evil. That's what you're arguing over. What we need to really realize is every single day, 200, 300, 400 children die of cancer. They die of diseases where they're being shot up with all this chemo and all this dope. Yeah, that many die a day. But no, let's not discuss them. While at the same time when the school shooting's going on, we got parents coming out publicly saying that their children have been healed from cancer by using MJ. You know what I mean? But it makes me think, as we get closer and closer to the time of Christ, closer and closer and closer to the time of the return of Christ, I think of the book of Daniel, I think of chapter 12, I think how it says, in the end, knowledge will increase. The internet, it's a great tool. It's a great tool to connect with people. It's a great tool to spread information and knowledge, and a lot of people take it for granted. A lot of people use it, because a lot of people don't want to be, like it says in Malachi chapter 4, verse 6, destroyed for lack of knowledge. A lot of people want to be healed for their obedience, which, by being obedient to God, you get granted wisdom. You're obedient by Him by using the knowledge that He's given us in the Word. That's just plain and simple in how it is. There's no other way around it. So on this, I just, I think of them 200 or 300, 400, just depending on the day. The number varies if you look at it, that die every day of cancer. I think of all them families who question God. They question why He would let something like this happen, why He would let their child die. And then, see, that's when the devil is winning. That's when that roaring lion, all this noise, that's what he is. He's a roaring lion. It's just a bunch of powerful noise is what the devil is. And we forget that. He's a roaring lion going around this whole earth trying to find something he can devour. What can he not devour? Well, according to the book of Revelations, he cannot devour God's anointed people. And he can't devour all the green things. According to the book of Revelation, there's two things the devil cannot devour. Now, in one part of the revelation of Jesus Christ that's given by John on the island of Patmos, that 1/3 of the green things, the trees, fruits, vegetables, are burned up. God allows 1/3 of them. and there's scarcity on the earth. But the devil cannot harm all the green things. God allowed that one. All right? He allowed it. He allows a third to be burned up during the tribulation, or during what it says in Revelation. But it also says in Revelation 9, chapter 4, that God's anointed, the ones with the seal of God on their forehead and their green things, they won't be harmed. So, I mean, that's the things I want to invest in. You should invest in that gold Jesus is talking about in Revelation chapter 3. I think verse 18, not sure on that, but I know it's in chapter 3. The gold, which is the gold that was brought to his birth, the same gold that was brought to his death and burial, rubbed all over him. You know, we need to be investing in that. That's that same gold that the 5 wise virgins had in their lamp. See, the 5 foolish virgins, they didn't have that gold. They didn't invest in that gold that Jesus said we are to invest in. So therefore, they couldn't see. They couldn't see. They were being taught by them divisive men. The dividers, the people who just do nothing but sit around and think how they can divide us, because they're fighting for the promised land too. They want to take over the earth, but we know the meek will inherit the earth. We know that. We're not dividers. That's people who believe in the Bible. We're uniters. And that happens to be the country that I live in, is the United States of America. Not the divided States of America, but we are divided. We're very, very divided. We're a very, very divided nation, people, and a nation divided against itself will not stand according to the Lord. And we're falling. We're falling quick. And it's like people, they don't want to see it, but all we need is we got to bring peace back. We got to bring love. It's when the church really needs to be fighting, but the church don't even understand what the church is anymore. That's what's sad. That's what I'm saying. We're so blessed. We have this internet, which is a great tool, which I think connects with Daniel chapter 12. In the end, knowledge will increase. I think about the apostles and the disciples and all them. If they would have had these tools that we're blessed with today, oh man. I mean, that's where we think, we might not be held to a higher account because we didn't live in the times when Jesus was walking the earth. I think that's wishful thinking. I think we're going to be held to a much higher account because look at all the tools we got and the blessings that we got, and we're wasting them, worried about talking about American Idol and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, idolism. Let's just go ahead and name it exactly what it says that we're not supposed to be a part of. Idol worship. Just wasting time. It's wasting time, and I see a lot of division in this Sandy Hook thing. So I see either way about it, the devil's winning. The devil's winning on it because people are being divided. But I keep thinking in my head, God can do he can use anything to the good. He can turn anything around to the good. So 2 ways. Since I mentioned, there's obviously 2 sides of the coin. Some people believe it didn't happen. Some people believe it did happen. I'm not making this video to say either way. I'm just making a video to walk down the middle so I can, it's over my head, it's over my head, but I'm going to walk down the middle. I'm going to try to walk down that straight and narrow. I think if it did happen, that America, the way we're living, we needed to be pricked in the heart like that. Now, never do I think 27 children deserve to die or anything like that. No, but they're not to the age of accountability. So I know what the Word teaches, and they're in heaven. So they're not going to have to deal with all this junk that we're dealing with. If it happened, I mean, they're blessed and in heaven and in the spot that I hope to be one day also. So that's a good positive way to try to look at one good thing on that. Now, if it didn't happen, then America also deserves to be deceived. We deserve to be deceived. But maybe we got to be deceived in order to wake up. Maybe we got to be deceived in order to have a chance for some of them elect, because in Revelation it also says, if it may be so that even the elect may be deceived. Well, maybe we all had to be deceived before the big deception, before the great one, where the mark of the beast is, where you're going to have it to buy, sell, or trade, that it talks about in Revelation 13. Maybe we needed to be deceived prior to that, so we could have our wake-up call. This is part of that trumpet. Now, I do believe, Daniel chapter 12 again, Archangel Michael will blow the trumpet, and at that time, he stands for the children, it says, the children of God, and at that time, there will be a great awakening. There'll be a great day of purification. A lot of people's going to wake up. I feel we're in that. I don't know if the trumpet's fully blowing, but it's in his hand coming up to his mouth, and we're about to, get a 4 count. We're going to kick in and just let the music play, and people's going to understand that it's either they'll get it or they won't. Either they'll get it or they won't. And it's time. It's time to wake up. Either way about it, that's what I'm saying. If 27 kids died, that's horrible. It's saddening. We were all hurt by it. It all affected it affected the whole world. I think, or I hope it did. When we heard about it on December 14th, it should have affected everybody. But it should affect everybody that in this country of ours, that there's 200 or 300 kids today that died of disease, of cancer. And then I think, and then here's this one guy, look up to, that lived here on this earth, and I feel still lives on this earth, but Michael Jackson, MJ, he took in a few kids who had cancer. And a few of them kids actually left Neverland not having cancer. But he was persecuted, he was tried, he was made fun of, he was laughed at in front of the whole world. My goodness, nobody even, his true fans were always still there. They didn't believe the junk. But, like Hitler said, you can tell a lie if you'll tell it over and over and over and keep consistent at it, people will believe it. Well, we kept hearing all the MJ jokes, just over and over and over my whole life. Basically, I come out in 1987, the bad year, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't too far after, I'm 4 or 5 years old, just a little innocent kid, and that's when his allegations started. So, it's like the greatest musician, artist ever. I had a tainted growing up thinking of it because of the television and what all they fed us constantly on him. And anyways, to me, why don't we investigate, since we're such into investigating stuff like Lance Armstrong's drug use and why he won all these, why don't we investigate what really happened at Neverland, since there was kids with cancer that came there and that kids left there with not having cancer. Why don't we investigate that as hard as we're investigating sports people making billions and then cheating to do it? Why don't we? Oh, it wouldn't be profitable if we started healing the world, would it? It wouldn't be profitable. No, not profitable. See, it would actually, I think we're getting to that time of the earth where God said, the meek will inherit the earth. There's got to be a cutoff point. There just has to be. This is getting so ridiculous. Either way about it, there's so much evil going on. If somebody walked in a school and shot everybody up, that's just as evil as you can get. If this is all faked to deceive us, that's as evil as you can get. Either way about it, it's evil. And it's all from the devil. And it's all to put fear in us. But this is when we got to trust in God more than ever. This is when we got to get clean. This is that purification. This is when you quit eating unclean food. This is when you try your best to eat as much fruit and vegetables as you possibly can. It's when you pray. It's when you meditate. It's when you exercise. It's when you do everything you possibly can do to clear your mind, your heart, and your soul so you can take on the pouring out that God's pouring, His blessings. Peace and love, everybody. Thank you.